called a dramatic entrance. Okay, this is just a quick video companion over to the review I just did on the Lamy Aion or Aion. I don't even know where the camera is on this phone. Apologies ahead of time. I'm cheap. I'm just using my telephone LG V20. No extra microphone, no extra nothing. Okay. First impressions, it was cool. My first impression of it was very modern, very sleek, but not sleek like sexy sports car kind of sleek. Sleek like no bulges, designs, cutouts, recessed sections, triangulated plates, nothing like that. Just very, very clean lines, modern and sleek. The appearance, well, it's silver. And I mentioned in the review, not flashy, although they make this pen in kind of a matte black and matte silver. They are all aluminum. I guess you would call it like an anodized aluminum. You'll never pick it up on this camera, but the outside is kind of a circular brushed aluminum, and then the feed, probably won't pick that up, is a bit like a bead blasting. So there's a contrast to it, but they're both aluminum. Let's see. It owes a lot, I think, to its first cousin, the Lamy 2000. Also a pen, I would also describe as very minimalist, very sleek lines. The 2000, though, to me, appears more elegant, for lack of a better term or description, while the Aion, just in my mind, is more utilitarian, more sort of workhorse. Design, size, weight. Well, I've basically talked about that. Minimalist, very clean lines. It is at the grip, the fattest point of the grip, come up with 10.6 millimeters. The length of the body, 137 millimeters. Capped, 143 millimeters. And posted, which you can post this pen, 162 millimeters. I'm reading off a script. The pen was designed by a guy named Jasper Morrison. I don't know. I don't know much about his background. Just in trying to read a bit about the pen, he's a named designer for the pen. I think he's done a lot of other things too. You could Google him and look him up. I think on design, really the only knock I have on it, possibly on the design or aesthetics of it, is the clip. From this angle, it's cool enough, but as I rotate it, I think the ball end would have been neat to just do something different there. I don't know what, but it's just really ordinary. It's really sleepy ordinary to me. Now, this is kind of cool. Have no idea what the purpose of those are, but if you can kind of see from the reflection, there are three little cutouts, kind of like fish scales, cut out. underneath the clip. You know, maybe Jasper was drinking that day. The nib. The nib's pretty wicked cool. In my opinion, Lamy hit a home run with this. It's. I wonder if this will focus any better in my fancy phone. Probably not. The nib is more reminiscent, closer to the Safari All-Star Vista lineup. It slides onto the section just like those do. And in fact, what I've read online is that if you want to put one of those nibs in this, you could, if that's what you wanted to do. This one is a medium. It's very smooth, and sort of in what's a paradox kind of. It's very smooth, but it also has just the slightest little hint of feedback when you're writing on paper. I really, really, really like it. Really like it. I've never had a problem with Lamy nibs. I've read a lot online, and some people have, and maybe it's an issue that just goes back, some point in years, and Lamy gets things fixed, quality control and that sort of thing. But I've read before where people had issues, especially in the Lamy line but I've got several Lamys, I've got several Safaris, Vista, I've got the 2000. Never had an issue, never had anything but like for their nibs. And this has been reported ad nauseum probably, but the 2000, which in my opinion is kind of their Cadillac pen, has got an awesome nib as well. I love it, but it has a sweet spot. At least a lot of people think so, and I do too. I don't have an issue with it. It works out great for me. But I would the 2000 nib's a gold nib. This is a stainless steel. Truth of the matter is, I know some pen people are going to not take this well, but when you think about it, gold versus nib generally has more to do with springiness or flex or things like that. In terms of smoothness, there's not any gold hitting the paper. There's not any stainless steel hitting the paper, assuming you're using a nib that has tipping on it. It's the tipping that hits the paper. It's the tipping that's polished and shaped and those sorts of things. So gold versus stainless steel in terms of smoothness, not a great argument to say gold nibs are generally smoother than stainless steel. It's just not so. Anyway, didn't mean to chase a rabbit. Filling system, I gave this on my review a 7 out of 10. It's a standard filling system. I say standard. Cartridges are converter. I've got the converter in this one now. My only negative, generally I like that. I like cartridge converter or cartridges or converter systems. Generally like those for a lot of reasons. There's convenience, but my knock against this one is just that Lamy has done like a lot of other pen manufacturers. The Pilot Metropolitans that we get coming out of Japan, same sort of issue. They use a proprietary neck size, so you can't buy international cartridges and have them work. You have to buy Lamy cartridges. So a knock for that, but the system itself is fine, works great. Nothing really to report about. Cost and value. This is where I should have started off by giving a big shout out to Gold Spot Pens. A couple of weeks ago, I guess, I'd gotten some correspondence from them, and in talking back and forth, I mentioned that the Lamy, we were talking in the Lamy Aion, I mentioned was a pen that I'd had some interest in for some time. I'd just never done anything about them, and they were like, well, we'll send you one, you can review it. So big shout out to them. They're great people. Look them up. They're very competitive price-wise. Just good, nice people to work with. Anyway, so they sent me this. But I got to say, I had my eye on this pen for some time, primarily because it was a Lamy, and I like their pens. But while in pictures, it's good looking, but there just wasn't anything about it that I thought, oh, I got to have me that. But then I got it, and you take it out of the box. It's got a little heft. It's got some weight to it. I've just been really, really impressed. In fact, impressed enough that I always think, well, would I get another one? I don't know that this is a pen I would want to collect in terms of needing to have both the black and the silver one, and if they came out with other colors, get those too. I haven't felt that way about the Safaris, and I really like the Safaris. But if anything happened to it, if I lost it, if it got stolen, the afternoon that I couldn't find it, I'd be on the phone with Gold Spot, or after the nuclear apocalypse, anybody that was in business that had them for sale, I'd get one. I'd replace it as quick as I could. So anyway, that's the end. Hope you enjoyed it. Not really any good reason to subscribe to this. I don't know if I'll do another one. I just don't know. I'm too lazy. Happy Sunday afternoon. Bye.